Did you know that about 130,000 unaccompanied minor children entered the United States in fiscal year 2022? That's 356 a day, or one just about every 4 minutes. Now, they say that these unaccompanied minors go through a specific process where they're delivered to supposedly a family member or a sponsor, a family friend, who are supposedly vetted for criminal history. So you mean to tell me that our understaffed border agents and border law enforcement has the resources to properly vet and then place 356 kids a day? If you're stupid enough to think that the majority of these children are placed in actual family members' homes or sponsors that have actually been vetted by the family members, I feel bad for you. Because it is highly likely that a large percentage of these children are lost into the system, sent to some supposed family sponsor, and then likely never seen again. Sound of freedom sounds like the sound of captivity. Well, if the US is the #1 purveyor of purchasing humans, sounds like that would be a good place to start. Yet despite this, our border czar and vice demon Kamala Krusty Demon is busy gaslighting us about Florida's curriculum surrounding slavery in America in the past, pretending that she's so offended by this curriculum, which was written partly by people of color, while simultaneously completely ignoring the actual slavery happening under her nose. Such fake demonry. Imagine giving a speech and acting all worked up and emotional about a Florida school curriculum while completely overlooking over 250,000 unaccompanied minors that came in the United States under your nose as the supposed border czar in the last 2 years. The probability of darkness and corruption here is next level. Think about how easy this would be. You tell a child, teenager, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever, that you're going over the border, and if they say anything or speak up, well, we'll do something to your family. Very simple. Scare them. Now you bring them over the border, they're an unaccompanied minor, but you give them a contact, their supposed family friend. The family friend is a person based in the US that doesn't have a criminal history, whom you paid to be the supposed sponsor. There's barely enough resources to vet, place, and hold these kids and then get them to their point of destination. Can you imagine how infrequently there's a checkup on them? We are talking unforetold levels of darkness we can't even fathom. And even on the low end, you're talking thousands, if not tens of thousands of children a year. In the US, over our own southern border. Here. And then you want to go one step deeper? What do you think's happening over in the Crane? Among the fog of war. You're talking tens of thousands, if not 100,000 plus missing youths. Any disaster war zone for people that have darkness of heart, demon-minded, could easily slide in and out and take more people. But you're going to feign outrage just like Kamala Krusty Harris, our supposed borders are, and you're going to pretend and act like she is actually offended by Florida school curriculum while all this other demonry happens underneath her. Most of the people that are enraged about the Florida curriculum didn't even read it, didn't even look at it, but here they are getting their virtue points, reposting it online, not even knowing what they're talking about, pretending like this is actually the most pressing issue of the day. You should be ashamed of yourself. While your fake demon crocodile tier demon leader, Krusty, is completely overlooking what's happening at this border. And even if you just think of it at face value, even if you believe what they're saying about the Florida curriculum, you're talking about curriculum and education about slavery in America 100 plus something years ago, and how outraged you are about that, most people without even seeing it, versus actual literal slavery with literal children in America right now. Just in the time that you've been watching this video, another unaccompanied minor has crossed into America. You can walk and chew gum at the same time, and I understand that people are emotionally charged about certain things, but if you're gonna pretend like you're so deep to the core offended, it's basically the equivalent of tripping a kid off the playground versus pushing 5,000 people off a cliff. You can be mad at both, but to pretend that you're emotionally charged about the former is insane. This level of demonry is being perpetuated at levels never before seen in American history. And yet, despite how obvious this is, what does the left do? What does the Biden administration focus on? Suing the state of Texas for installing a floating barrier over the Rio Grande to deter this type of behavior. Think about how many countless lives this would have saved. Not to mention the fact that our law enforcement that's jumping into the river to try to protect and save these people that ultimately drown, even those people have lost their life. American citizens, enforcement officers, and the migrants themselves. But no, they're prioritizing getting rid of the barrier so that more of them can flood in. As they said in Sound of Freedom, you could sell a bag of narcotics one time, but you could sell a person 15 times a day for for 10 years. If you're stupid enough to think that this border is not a wide open sieve for this type of behavior to perpetuate in the United States of America, the supposedly freest land on earth, you're clueless.